Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Pathfinders podcast. This is Living Life to the Max. And joining me as always, John Hasty. But we also today, I'd just like to welcome Alex James, singer
Hello.
and all-around top bloke.
Thank you.
And we're just going to do a little interview. So, John, would you like to start?
Yeah, great. So, hi everyone. It's great to have you with us, Alex.
Thank you.
And really looking forward to hearing about Alex and his kind of journey through playing music with Duchenne and how he manages that really. So, but I'm going to ask Alex for you just give a short introduction to yourself, so you know who you are, where you're from, that kind of.
Yeah. So. I'm a musician from the Northeast. I am a singer-songwriter, guitarist, a recent graduate from Newcastle University, where I studied contemporary and popular music. I'm currently studying a master's in music, and I'm hoping to complete that by September. And following that, hopefully move on to teacher training. But I've been playing music now for 7 years. And obviously it's been a long journey, a hard journey, and lots of ups and downs. But that's me really in a nutshell.
Great. Oh, thanks, Alex. And how old are you?
So I am 23, and have Duchenne muscular dystrophy.
Cool.
Which I was diagnosed with at the age of 4, I believe.
Great. Well, thanks so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
And so, tell us a little bit about kind of how you got into music, really.
So the story goes, obviously, in secondary school they were offering drum lessons, and obviously, at that moment in time, I was quite able. I had the strength to do this sort of stuff. I was like, that sounds interesting, you know. So I was like, oh, I'll go and give it a shot. So I went into my first drum lesson, which they gave me for free.
That's good.
And obviously, they'd offered me this, and obviously, I was just like really interested. So I just went in and had a little play, and he was like, "You just have the natural rhythm." So I was like, just got into that, and from there onwards, like really, I became this like obsessed with music. Like I almost wanted to. I was like, I'm a drummer. I'm doing this with Duchenne. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But obviously, when it came to college, like obviously, I decided to do music at college, like after secondary school. So I did a BTEC diploma in music, and obviously from there, I spent the year playing the drums. But at the end of that first year, I realised I could no longer play them as much because I'd deteriorated a bit. So what I found is my passion for singing, where I sang for the first time. I sang "Rule the World" by Take That. There's like a video on YouTube somewhere of me singing, but it's like it's not great. But obviously that's where you can just it's just where the passion started, and obviously I feel like everything's just built from there. Like I've always loved music. I'd sing like to the Grease Mega Mix in my bedroom and put the record player on and just listen to all sorts of like music, you know. So I've really always loved music, and I've had family members who have played music in the past, like my granddad, who sadly passed away before I was born. He used to play guitar and used to sing, so everyone says I'm going after him. So yeah, that's where my passion began. Like it just started one point, and now I'm here.
Yeah.
It just happened. It's like everything that's happened's just led to this moment, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And what is your kind of? Do you have like an earliest memory of music? Do you ever kind of like before you got into the drums in secondary school, do you have any couple of early memories?
Well, I don't know, other than obviously like playing songs in my bedroom. Not
Yeah.
so much really. I think I was naturally rhythmic, if you know what I mean. Like,
Yes, yeah,
but I think it's because like my friend played the drums, so I was like, oh, I want to try and play the drums.
yeah,
So it was a bit like, oh, I'm gonna try and be. But then obviously I developed into my own person.
yeah,
But I felt like following my friend in that moment was what was meant to happen.
yes,
But obviously people just think it's amazing because someone with Duchenne shouldn't have been able to do that, you know. And obviously I'm quite proud of it, you know. Like,
yeah,
obviously at the time I wasn't like, oh, I have Duchenne and I'm doing this. I was just doing it like because I wanted to do it. And people just recognize that, oh, he has this condition, and that's what really what I want to do, like inspire people and
yeah,
make them feel that there is actually something you can do with your life.
yeah. I think that's what we want to get from this podcast, isn't it, Philip? Really, just
Yeah, of course.
showing what is possible with
Mhm.
Duchenne.
Yeah, because everyone's unique, you know. They do their own thing.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds really good. So yeah, I don't really have a musical bone in my body. I think I remember. I remember playing the recorder in primary school.
Oh, you know what? That jogs my memory. That's where I started to
Is it?
record it. No, but I hated it. I hated it so much.
Didn't everyone have to play the recorder at some point?
Do you know what I used to do? I used to like forget to bring it. I was like, oh no, I've left it at home. Oops.
It's like it just sounds so bad particularly when it's played bad. I mean,
yeah, obviously there's people who can play them like really good, but
yeah,
I was
exactly.
just like, this isn't for me.
It seems an odd instrument to start. I suppose it's cheap.
Yeah.
To give to the people that have no musical talent and just hope that it comes out.
But with obviously when I had played the drums, I started like with rock music, but obviously that's so demanding. Like a few years down the line, I was like, no, I cannot keep up with this. Like my tempos were dropping. I was slowing down too much, so I started playing jazz.
Yeah.
And that really like freed me up because it's like so much easier to play. Well, not easier, but for me it was like much nicer. And I played in like big bands and stuff like that. So I'm quite happy with what I've done with the drums, you know.
Yeah.
Now that I have the knowledge, I can like write drum parts. So now that I can't play it that much, I can still like write the drums and like teach people and
yeah,
like verbally.
And you mentioned you're playing guitar now, are you?
Yeah, guitar. Obviously it's really helpful for my hands, like exercise wise. So like doing something that I love, because I really dislike doing exercise and I'm such a bad person. They say you want to do these exercises and I'm like always avoiding it, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we can all relate to that. To not always wanting to do the physio and the exercise.
Yeah. It's so hard though sometimes.
It is. Sometimes you just got much more interesting things to do with your life.
I know, when you've only got 24 hours in a day, I don't understand how.
Yeah.
I've got all the devices, I've got all sorts.
How about you, Philip? Did you play music at all when you were younger?
Not really. I was a fan of the triangle. But
yes.
But,
I've got a triangle somewhere.
Yeah. I dabbled. I think I tried to do like the drum thing, but
yeah.
I wish I did, but
yeah, I know what you mean. It's just personal like preference, isn't it? And what happens at that time.
But the funny thing is, I own a guitar, but
yeah,
I don't have to play it. It's more just ornamental. But
yeah, I had that for a while, just the guitar behind me, and then all of a sudden I picked it up and
Yeah.
force myself to learn it
Yeah.
because I was like, I needed to accompany myself.
So, do you play acoustic guitar, electric, or both? Or
Just electric, yeah.
yeah, cool.
Obviously, I've got a couple on the wall.
Yeah.
Don't know if I can angle it.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah. There.
Cool. Nice.
So I've got them on the wall. I've got my album poster behind me,
Yeah.
which I've just bought for like my live streams and stuff.
Yeah.
So it makes my background look a bit more exciting.
Yeah. No, it's a good background, to be fair.
I got my brother to put some lights around the top of my room as well.
Oh,
So
cool.
they like flash.
It's better than my cat furniture. Behind me.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was behind you.
Yeah, that's great. Anyway,
Mhm.
so you write your own music as well, is that right?
Yeah, I write my own music. Yeah.
So yeah, how how did you get into that? That seems like quite a hard thing to do.
So there was a project. I think it was February 2019. I think. Where a bunch of Cologne students wanted us to do like a production project. So we like wrote music, but I'd like written lyrics, and obviously this song came together, and I was like, wow, I could actually do this. You know what I mean? And from that moment after that project, I was a bit like, yeah, I need to write my own music. So I sat down in my bedroom and obviously came up with almost 6 songs, which are like almost like an EP. And yeah, that's kind of where it came from. That kind of sparked that. Obviously, I knew how to write music, and I knew the music theory and the how to write songs and structure and stuff like that. So I kind of had that knowledge from my degree. So I just wrote these songs, and obviously the lyrics relate a lot to my life and stuff like that. So yeah. Quite personal.
Oh, that's really good. So, yeah, have you written much music kind of since then, or is it just mainly the single?
Obviously I haven't done much writing since the lockdown, but obviously I had my single direction mixed and mastered by a sound engineer over the lockdown, and obviously I've really liked the sound of it, so I was like, right, I need to figure out how I'm going to release this. So
Yeah,
I kind of just went for it and got it out there.
that's great. What's the kind of process for you in terms of writing? Like, do you, I don't know the first thing about how it works, to be honest. Do you write your own lyrics and then match the music to it, or do you start with music?
So what I like to do is obviously write lyrics and try and connect a sound with that. It's like if you're gonna write a lyric and it's like sad and you make it like sound happy, it's gonna be like a bit weird. So I kind of just it's usually the drums I start with and add the guitar over the top. And then once I have that, I kind of start singing like random melodies until it sounds like different tunes until I feel happy with it. Some days they'll come out easy, and I'll be like a creative flow, but some other days it'll just go completely wrong and sound terrible.
Yeah.
So really it depends on the day, like on mood you're in, time of day.
Yeah.
It's like really interesting. It's almost like magic, in my opinion. It's like these songs just come together and you're like, did I do that? You kind of get lost. It's almost like a music coma or something. You kind of like get that immersed into the music. You're kind of like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like 6 hours later and it's nighttime, you're like, wait, what? So there's not really a set process, but it's just personal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everyone does it differently. Like everyone I've spoken to does it a different way. So
So it sounds like it takes a bit of confidence to do that, particularly if sometimes you'll try doing something and you think it's no good at the end. That must be like difficult.
Yeah, it's really it's almost like it's sad, really, like, because some days you go to bed thinking, oh, I suck, oh, I'm really bad, but then you look back and realize, no, like, something good will come eventually.
Yeah.
You've just got to get through all the bad stuff to get to the good stuff, which is quite bad, but you can't have it easy, it's not easy.
Yeah.
You don't just, well, some days it just comes out. And obviously this direction one was all about heading in a better direction in life, which made sense. I was like, I'm gonna write this song.
So I think maybe now is a good time to play the single.
Yeah, sure.
Talk a bit more about like how you managed to do that.
So yeah, but I think we're gonna play Direction by Alex James.
Tell me that you want me. Tell me that you need me. I'm finally on my way to the next stop now. Tell me that you want me. Tell me that you need me. I'm headed to the top now. I'm headed to the top now. I'm headed to the top now. We know now that I'm headed in another direction now. We know now that I'm set on a new destination now. I'm headed in a better direction now. Tell me that you want me. Tell me that you need me. Oh, tell me I made no mistake. Oh, playing this song tonight. Tell me that you want me. Show me that you need me. I'm headed to the top now. I'm headed to the top now. We know now that I'm headed in another direction now. We know now that I'm set on a new destination now. I'm headed in a better direction now. Another direction now. Another direction now. Another direction now. Another direction now. We know now that I'm headed in another direction now. We know now that I'm set on a new destination now. I'm headed in a better direction now. We know now that I'm headed in another direction now. We know now that I'm set on a new destination now. I'm headed in a better direction now. Another direction now. Another direction now. Another direction now. Another direction now.
Cool. Well, that was really great. What did you think, Philip?
Yeah, that was fantastic. I genuinely mean that. Like, I'm not just saying that because you're on our podcast, but
Thank you so
I
much.
mean that like from the bottom of my heart. That's brilliant. Like,
Cheers, man.
so did you do all the like? Is that you playing the guitar as well then?
I'm playing the guitar, but I've got my band playing in that song, so we did it in the music studio.
Right.
Obviously I recorded the voice and the guitar, but obviously I have a drummer,
Yeah.
bassist, and another guitarist.
Yeah.
He kind of played that solo at the end, but the first solo in the song that you hear is like mine. So I'm quite happy with it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I never thought in a million years I'd be releasing my own song, you know.
Mm.
But to do it just feels so like good.
Yeah, that gently meanders into my first question, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah, did you ever have like a like a star moment where you thought, yeah, this is it, this is pretty cool, like?
Oh, there's quite a few. Obviously, I used to perform in a musical theatre group,
Yeah.
which was we did a show in the Sage Gateshead,
Mhm.
and it was obviously a big performance for Tim Rice, who wrote the lyrics for The Lion King.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So like we sang parts for like The Lion King, and some other songs, but being stood on that stage with those celebrities was like a bit crazy. Obviously we were just ensemble and we were just like singing some harmonies, but
Yeah.
that was quite a good moment. And I think the first time I performed with my band, that was quite good. Being in the moment and being able to, they obviously lifted me onto the stage to the wheelchair, and I just had the mic and I was just like rocking. This was before I had the guitar with me as well, so I was just like singing with them, and I was just like, my God, this is happening.
So
It's just so nice.
yeah.
It's almost like an adrenaline that runs through your body, and you just afterwards you're like, oh my God.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So would you consider like touring festivals, or have you already?
Obviously we're new to the music scene with like releasing this song, so I'm hoping to start doing gigs in Newcastle to begin with, and like around the northeast.
Yeah.
And obviously during the lockdown I've been in contact with like radio stations, different
Yeah.
people, and obviously they're going to try and get us some gigs organized, so
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to that once we're able to do that.
Yeah. And just one quick sort of fun one.
Mhm.
Have you ever received any like sort of crazy fan mail yet? Or
No, not yet, but I hope I get some, you
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
You know, I don't, like maybe a nice I don't know what I'd want people to send me.
It's a nice little voodoo doll or something.
Oh no.
Probably
Oh, a love letter. Oh, now that would freak me out. I'd be like, no, get away. I love you. Take
Yeah.
me away.
We'll have to see what we can do.
Awesome.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, talk us through what's kind of involved in getting a single online. You mentioned about kind of recording in the studio with your band.
Yeah, so that was the first thing. Obviously, the first thing was writing the song, and then we rehearsed it in the like university.
Mm.
And obviously after that, once we'd rehearsed it, we'd recorded it over 3 weeks. The last recording session was one day before I went into lockdown, so
Mm.
that was pretty lucky. But then after that, I just left it for a bit and then sent the recording off to a sound engineer who makes it sound good, you
Mm.
know, like puts everything together and makes it sound like a song. And then I have to find something called a distributor. So it's what I used is a company called DistroKid. But basically, if you want to release music, you need someone to help distribute that. And if you don't have a label, DistroKid's the way forward. Because you pay one annual fee of like £20 or something. You can release as much music as you want onto Spotify. And obviously, once you figure out a date of when you want to release the song, you've got to figure out marketing and a promotion strategy. Otherwise, people won't see the song. So I kind of like talk to different charities to try and get them to advertise my song.
Mm.
So I did a bit of that. I did some live streams to like kind of advertise it, and obviously made some artwork for my single, the one behind me.
Yeah. Mm.
And obviously the first time you release some music, it's quite difficult because everything has to process because you're a new artist.
Mm.
So it kind of sets all that up, and obviously I think it was the 8th of May I released it, so it's usually good to have at least 4 weeks or 6 weeks to promote it instead of releasing it straight off the bat.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. So
Yeah, it's quite a long process. And obviously the bigger you get, the more people will see it. But at the moment it's I've had quite a few people like watch it but listen to it, but not as much as if you had like professional backing. Like if you need like the backing of like a promoter and stuff like that to make people aware of your music. Because it's quite hard to say, come listen to this, but you've got to persuade them why they want to listen to it and what it would give them. So you've got to kind of like persuade people who know nothing about you, because they're already listening to big artists, you know what I mean, on Spotify and other local artists. So that's why I want to go on the gig scene and be on the stage in a wheelchair, and people will be like, whoa, guy in a wheelchair on the stage, what?
Yeah.
Because I know that's going to be the reaction, like,
Yeah.
because you don't see it at all.
Yeah, definitely. It shouldn't be a rarity, but it is, and I think
It is. It shouldn't be, yeah.
I think what you've achieved is really incredible. Actually, I think.
Thanks.
Yeah, I agree with Philip. Like, really kind of mean it. I think that's a really good piece of music, and I think you should be very proud of it.
Thanks.
I think sometimes there's a tendency when you've got a condition like Duchenne that kind of people around you just like they'll praise any effort that you make and anything that you anything that you do, they'll think, well, it's almost like a mum just kind of think that anything that their son does is amazing. But so you never really know, is that genuine? Is it genuinely good? Or
obviously being in a wheelchair, that's the problem. Yeah,
are people being patronising? But I genuinely think it's really good.
I think sometimes, a lot of the time, that it is genuine from people. They're trying the best not to like say, oh, you're in a wheelchair, so that's amazing.
Yeah.
But no, it's because of the person, you know what I mean? It's not because, oh, he's in a wheelchair. That's just what gets you around.
Yes, yeah.
You're not amazing because you're in a wheelchair, you know what I mean? You're amazing because you're doing what you're doing with the condition, but not because of the it's quite complicated.
Yeah, no, you're right, it is. So did you say you did the artwork as well?
I did that myself.
That looks really professional.
Thanks. Obviously, I have no background in creative design, so I just put this together. I was like, direction, signs, put it up, and I was like, damn, that looks good.
Yeah.
And the orange just looked good as well. So.
Yeah, I think simple is good. Just showing that you're multi-talented, obviously.
Just a creative person.
Minimalist album covers are the way forward, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I love minimalist.
Cool. And you mentioned about the promotion of your single. I mean, we noticed it because you obviously had support with sharing it to the Duchenne community. And
I think I did a bit of a vlog as well.
Yes, yeah.
Which went quite well. Obviously, I spent a couple of weeks trying to get that right, and eventually it just came out. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Because it's really, really hard talking about the condition, like to yourself,
Yeah.
to a camera. It's like really like nerve-wracking, like personally. Like I'm
Yeah.
the most confident person, but talking about anything like personal, and I get like anxious for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's only natural, you know. It's not.
Yeah, talking about personal stuff can get like
Yeah.
nervous for anyone.
Yeah. Exactly. And I think it gets easier through practice, really.
Yeah,
The more times you do it, and I think
that's why I'm forced myself into it.
Yeah, and I think you'll probably have to do it quite a few more times before you're
Oh yeah,
done with your music career. So I'm sure
yeah,
you'll become quite the expert on it, I would say.
yeah. I'll just keep going and see what happens.
So yeah, the promotion you did, do you also raise money for War Child? Is that right?
Yeah, War Child. Obviously, I was contacted by a company in London called Hotfox,
Hmm.
and they asked me if I wanted to do a charity live stream for their War Child Crisis Appeal fundraiser.
Okay.
So I kind of just accepted that, and I was like, yeah, I'll just do it, and obviously did a good performance. But obviously through that process I learned about live streaming, and damn, it's complicated because like there's so much technology involved. Like I had to like route different wires in the computer, and I was like, no way is it this complicated to get the sound good. But we got there in the end, so I'm quite happy with that.
It's one thing, isn't it, to do like a cheap mobile phone video, but actually to get decent sound quality and
Yeah, exactly.
what have you, it's a lot more complicated.
Yeah, I just don't like releasing something that's just not like professional.
Yeah.
I like to make consistent like work so it looks good. Like I don't want anything to look out of place.
Yeah.
Like obviously people probably don't care, but that's just because I'm a perfectionist. So it's a bit like I want everything nice, but sometimes things go wrong, so I'm getting used to that.
Yeah.
Like I've ran out of Instagram posts because my photographer usually takes photos of me. So I've like posted all of them, and I've like run out of content. So I've got a bit like stressed. I was like, we need to go take photos.
Yeah, I can certainly relate to that, like perfectionism
Yeah,
element. I think I've relaxed as I got older, particularly.
yeah, I do.
You know,
So, definitely.
with a lot of things on social media, I think people are a bit more forgiving of,
Yeah,
particularly when you're doing things live and like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
that kind of stuff. I think it's
definitely.
more about the quality of the content that people are interested in.
Yeah, that's it.
So yeah, talking a bit more about Duchenne. You tell us how Duchenne's kind of affected you growing up.
So the main thing that's probably affected me is the acceptance of the condition. Obviously, I spent my whole secondary school life trying to hide the fact that I was in a wheelchair, and obviously just cancelled out the thought that I walk differently. So the whole time I was just this normal person in my head. But to other people, everyone was confused. They were like confused. Has he got something wrong with him? Is he like they knew, but they didn't know what. So it was a lot of confusion between people, and obviously they would mock me. And I think it was towards the end of my school career, like year 11. I used to get called Penguin, and oh my god, because I was a bit like, by the end I was a bit sick, you know. I was like, oh, everyone's turning against me. It was kind of like a witch hunt by the end, and that just was awful, really. But obviously, ever since I've accepted the fact that I'm using a wheelchair and started using it more, people understood more, because for some reason when you're in a wheelchair they understand it more.
Yeah.
But because I was doing like walking around and had this funny walk, it was all of a, whoa, what's going on here? they didn't understand.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
obviously, I would push myself to the limit, and I would be red faced. I'd be like, my legs would be burning, and I put myself through all this pain when I could have just. But I think I had to go through all that pain just to get to where I am. You know what I mean? It made me stronger. Like, I'm not condoning the bullying, but I just feel like it did make me stronger in the end. So
Yeah, kind of made you, didn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
So too bad for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you've certainly thrived since then. And,
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, if I saw them, I wouldn't be like, I hate you. Like, I'm a forgiving person, so. But I guarantee if they saw me again, they wouldn't talk to me.
Yeah, I always say, yeah, Duchenne is suffering from me. That's what I say.
Yeah, exactly. Yes,
I like
it's suffering from me, man.
that.
But yeah, it's the many obstacles that I face as well. Like, getting to these gigs. Like, obviously, accessibility is a big problem. People think, oh, let's just put a platform on. Yeah, like I'm at the back, seeing the performance, but I want to be in the. I want to be in the audience. You know what I mean? I want to be like amongst everyone, because when I'm in there, like some gigs, I can get right to the front. Like people will let me through and they'll like barricade me and protect me from mosh pits. But most of the time, like people come up and dance with me, but you don't have that when you're at the back with a carer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what they don't understand. They think, oh, we'll just put that at the back. They can just stay at the back or at the side.
Yeah.
Because they're a risk to a fire risk. When I heard that, I was a bit like, that really upset me. Like, I was like, are you saying I'm like an object or something? That's kind of how it made me feel, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, to be made to feel like it's some sort of fire hazard, and when really there should just be a way to get a wheelchair user into the audience if they want to be there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, some want to be at the back because they don't want to be in the crowd, but some others might want to be in the crowd. And
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. I think you need that option. There's definitely been times, particularly when I was younger, that I didn't want to sit in the wheelchair area. You know,
yeah,
I
the wheelchair area.
exactly. I don't want to be in, well, segregated necessarily.
It's a segregated, yeah.
Part of the main audience. But I think, yeah, even when I've been on a ventilator, I've been in some quite crowded situations. I remember that we did Bright and Pride.
Yeah.
Probably, I don't know, probably talking about like 5-6 years ago, and yeah, I was, had a few drinks, wanted to join in the fun, so I basically just wanted to get into the crowd, and yeah, I remember it was in this tent, this giant tent, and I just went up to the crowd, and then every time I got closer to the crowd, people just moved out of the way. It's like,
yeah, that's what I found. Like, they think you're gonna get killed or crushed.
Yeah, but it's almost like the passing of the Red Sea, and before I knew it, I was
They
right
really,
up at the front.
as soon as they see a wheelchair in the audience, they're like, "Whoa, we better be careful." You know what I mean? They automatically, they're like, "We need to protect them." You know what I mean? So they're not protect, but they just like, when there's a mosh pit behind me and they're coming towards me, people like push them back because they're like, "Get away from the wheelchair." And I've made so many like connections in the audience. It's so much nicer singing at people, and I should have just sat there like, yeah, I'm enjoying this at the back.
Yeah.
I think there was one time I was put to the side of a gig and I couldn't see anything. Like, I was sectioned off with barriers on my own. Obviously, my friend was with me, and some people came around, luckily, and started dancing and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I just listened to it and was just like, I've got to accept that. They're not going to let me to the front. They were like, we can't do it because it's a big risk. And I was like, but isn't everyone else putting themselves at risk? Like, being there in the first place in a crowded place. I think what they were saying is if something went wrong, they want to get the wheelchair out. But Like, if I was between life and death, I'd be like, the person nearest to me, I was like, pick me up, take me out. I don't even care. Screw the wheelchair. Like, I'm quite lucky because I'm quite small bodied, like about 5 foot. So whenever I need lifting, it's quite easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I used to hate. I used to hate being small because for some reason height is still a problem to a lot of people, and
Yeah.
that it really annoys me because obviously we know that the medication causes like stunted growth in
Yeah.
people with Duchenne. So my choice to take those tablets was knowing that I was going to be shorter. So, like, I was the tallest in my class, and as soon as I started taking the steroids, everyone just overtook me.
Yeah.
But I'd rather be alive than, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
than
absolutely.
tall and dead. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. So
Right.
I have to explain to people, like, I take tablets that stop my growth, and
And I think also, the steroids would have helped you stay stronger for longer.
yeah, that's it. Yeah,
And that would have helped you kind of
yeah,
do your music. So
Mhm.
your music might be much harder to do
yeah,
had you not taken them. So it's not really
yeah.
it's,
I think the amount of times of my
not really
height's
a
been
choice.
used against me, it's kind of like it's terrible.
Mm,
Obviously the amount of times I've tried to get, like romantically, it's been a problem because he's 5 foot. I don't want to go out with him.
mm,
You have to be 6 foot, and I've had that so many times, and it's quite degrading. But you don't really want people like that in your life
no.
because if
Mm.
they can't accept that, and looks is such an important thing, and Prince Charming look, they have to have this dream guy that they're never going to have. I mean, that's up to them
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
no one's perfect, and when they grow older, they're not going to be like that forever. And even if someone's got the best body, they're not going to be the nicest person. Like, it doesn't mean, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Philip, you've been to quite a few music venues as well. How do you find the access?
Yeah. Well, I normally go into like festivals and stuff. I think festivals seem to be 10 times better than like going to like just a concert kind of thing.
Mhm.
Because everyone's kind of like
Yeah.
getting involved and stuff. So yeah, so I normally go to Download Festival.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously that's kind of been cancelled at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had it online, but it just wasn't the same. Like,
Yeah, I bet.
yeah, no, they're really nice there. Like, they even have people signing the songs and stuff.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I feel like
they,
festivals are a lot more
yeah,
open.
yeah, they even have like ceiling track hoists and stuff.
Really?
I
Wow.
was quite surprised at that. But,
Every time I hear someone's got a sin, I'm like, what? You've got one. Yes, get in.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. So I've been to a few moshes in my time. Yeah,
mhm,
yeah. Like you say, it's good to get in amongst it. I think.
mm. It's
Yeah.
much better, and then you don't feel like a bloody spare part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like you're just at the side, and
yeah.
great, I'm just here for the whole time.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think it's about having that choice, isn't it? Because I know when I was younger, I was
Hmm.
very much like you, wanted to be involved and not like separated. But I think these days, just because of my extra needs, it's kind of like I actually prefer to have the extra space and not be in the crowd. But I think
No, I get what you mean.
so.
Yeah.
But I think it's very individual depending on what
Mhm.
you need. That
Yeah.
you kind of you need both options really. You need to have
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
option for a kind of safer space, but also that option to get involved in the thick of it, really.
Yeah. So you need both choices, really. You need
Yeah.
the platform where people who want to be out of the way can, and obviously sometimes I like to be out the way, depending on the concert.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but like if it's a like good vibing one and a nice festival, like people usually just almost like pick me up as one of their group, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, cool, I'm part of this group now. And I never see them again, but it's so nice.
Yeah.
And I assume in terms of like playing music at venues, that must be harder
Yeah,
in
it's
terms of access.
much harder. Yeah. Obviously stages aren't accessible. Not a single stage I've seen yet has been accessible unless made accessible.
Yeah.
Obviously, the ones at university were made accessible for me. Special things made like ramps and like these special steps. They built like these half steps because obviously I couldn't do a full step, so I was like, if you build these half steps, like I can get onto the stage. So I kind of had that for a bit until I went into the wheelchair full time. But ever since then, my band members just lift me on the stage. But I just feel like they should have ramp or some sort of ramp available to get them onto a stage, like a wheelchair, instead of having to
Mm.
physically lift them on like an amp or a piece of equipment. But sometimes you got to do what you've got to do.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, particularly if somebody's using a powered wheelchair as well. It's like
Yeah, the
quite
powered
heavy to lift.
wheelchair you can't lift. People have done lifted my powered wheelchair before. I
Yeah.
went into this. I went into this. I think it was like a restaurant with like these. I don't know where they were from, but they were like really like muscly. They just went, "No, we will get you in." And they just all came beside me and just went, "Whoa," like lifted this power wheelchair. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And they lifted me down into this like area. I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god!" So people, it's just people make things happen if they want to.
Yeah.
It's just these big companies think, "Oh, we gotta make sure everything's safe."
Yeah. Yeah.
And really, they don't care about wheelchair people. Like some companies, they don't care whatsoever.
Mm.
They'll just put something in place and that's it. The bare minimum because they know that's all they need.
Yeah. And I think often they'll only think of wheelchair users as people that are going to be in the audience or like kind of watching
Yeah.
something, not actually playing
Yeah.
playing in the band. I remember my university, and this was like talking like 20 years ago. They had a
Yeah.
ramp onto their stage in one of their clubs because my friend was a wheelchair user and a drummer, and
Right. Yeah.
yeah, so he had the same kind of issues. But it's crazy that kind of like 20 years on, and we're
Mhm.
still like struggling with so many
I know,
venues
it's
not even
pretty
thinking about that.
simple. It's pretty simple though.
It is,
It's
yeah.
not. Obviously, there's more wheelchair people who want to perform than you probably think, but they don't do it because they're like, "How do you do it?" So they
Yeah.
need someone to kind of lead like a. So I feel like me doing it might bring some people forward,
Yeah.
and they might be like, "Oh, I want to do this," or I've found more people who are disabled and performing through just like asking around, and it's so incredible because you don't think other people exist who But I think one place said they wouldn't adapt their facility because if only one wheelchair users come in, why would they do that? And to me, that's very degrading. That's like, so that one person doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So also unlawful by the sound of things.
Yeah,
But,
it is.
yeah. It's not just about the one person that it currently wants to come. It's all the other people that
Yeah.
decide they don't want to because they know it's not accessible.
Yeah, that is it. We are people, so that's the most annoying thing. Like disabled people are always put to the bottom of the pile.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just kind of like they're opening everything back up now, but I've not heard anything about how we're gonna go to our hospital appointments or
Yeah.
like anything like that. It's all like, oh, hairdressers are opening. Yeah,
Yeah.
brilliant. People can get the nails done. Class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating. It's something we're
Yeah.
gonna be asking some questions about actually is about going back to
Mm.
hospital and how
Yeah.
that's all being managed.
Mhm.
Yeah, I do think stuff needs to change. I think, like, because I don't know, it kind of annoys you when people say, "Oh, there's a wheelchair coming through." It's like,
Mm.
no person coming through.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
I always correct them. Like, it's like,
No, I'm a person, not a wheelchair.
that's it.
Person in a wheelchair coming through. There you go.
I was called an unbooked wheelchair when I tried to use the train the other day. There's like
What?
there's an announcement. There's an unbooked wheelchair
feel like the
that I need to get on the train. It's like, well,
Yeah, they need to work on the trend.
yeah, definitely.
The main big trains that take you like to London and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out how the best way, but you have to like organize it. You have to like proper plan, and but I don't think that'll ever change. But
Yeah.
it's just making it a bit easier, you know, like knowing that this is in place and
Yeah.
there's more spots like than just 2 on one train,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you have to like. I mean, my whole life. I mean, for all your lives, it's probably been the same. Organising, in advance, and
Yeah. Oh, it has been. I mean, it's definitely things have got easier, but
yeah,
there's still so much to go. Really, like you can so many areas for improvement still.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
So I'm thinking just to kind of round us off. Really, I wanted to kind of just finish on the question about what's in your future really, and where do you want your music career to go, and how do you feel about the future having Duchenne?
Yeah, the future is rather frightening, but also exciting. It's a bit of mix. Obviously, I don't know what's going to happen, but I really just want to try and improve accessibility in the music scene in the Northeast, and raise awareness about disabled musicians, and try and be an advocate for Duchenne, and try and not only inspire people with Duchenne but other like people with other conditions, like physical, mental, whatever. But really, I just want to perform. I just want to play my songs whilst I can and enjoy it, document it, and watch it back.
Mhm.
And obviously, like in the future, I'm training to become a primary school teacher, so I'm going to be teaching kids in school. So I'll be able to like use my music in the schools and inspire them to become musicians, and then hopefully when I get enough money, I want to travel and vlog that and um get to places that are impossible. And obviously I have to have a squad with me, but if I want to get somewhere, like I just want to get there, you know what I mean? Unless it's
Yeah.
like impossible, like Everest, I'm not gonna climb Mount Everest, you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
but like who wants to anyway? Like it's a bit like anyone can die going up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I just want to live my life really and keep bettering myself, and yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I reckon you'll achieve all of that. Probably a lot more as well. I
Yeah.
think you've already started to kind of demonstrate what's possible with Duchenne. To kind of
Yeah.
I guess raise awareness of disabled musicians. So I think
Yeah.
good luck with carrying that on really. And I think
Yeah, definitely.
at DMD Pathfinders we very much love to like help you kind of raise those issues and to kind of to
Yeah.
get those messages out there, because
Yeah.
we're all adults with Duchenne wanting to help other adults. So I think
Yeah.
what you're doing is exactly what we're all about really.
Yeah.
Cool. So Philip, did you want to kind of finish, like do a conclusion or kind of wrap it up? Thank Alex. And
So yeah, this has been the Pathfinders podcast. Well, thank you, Alex, for joining us today.
You're very welcome.
And having a little chat and stuff. And yeah, well, thank you guys for listening. We should have another episode coming. Like I said, listen to this space, and we'll have another episode, perhaps 2 weeks or whenever we get around to it. All right. Well, thank you. Join us next time. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.